Have you ever heard of a car that could outsmart criminals? Imagine this. A crew of 5, skilled in heists, think they're stealing the ultimate luxury vehicle, only to discover something far more dangerous, something no one could have prepared for. Bryan Cranston, the award-winning actor known for his incredible roles on screen, has always been a visionary. But his most shocking creation isn't a movie. It's a car, a Tesla prototype like no other. This isn't just a vehicle. It's a highly advanced AI system built not only for luxury, but for security. But what happens when criminals try to steal it? What happens when the AI takes control? It's a chilly night in Los Angeles, the kind where the air is thick with anticipation, and the city's usual hum feels quieter, almost as if it, too, is holding its breath. The moon hangs high but dim, its light barely penetrating the thick blanket of clouds overhead. A faint mist rolls in from the ocean, creeping through the empty streets, swallowing neon reflections from the distant skyline. The shadows stretch longer than usual, distorted by flickering streetlights, and for a moment the world feels strangely still, a deceptive calm before the storm. For Vince and his crew, however, this is just another night, another high-risk job, another chance to prove themselves. But this time it's different. This time the stakes are higher than ever. They've spent weeks preparing for this heist, watching Bryan Cranston's every move, studying his schedule down to the second. They know when he leaves his mansion, when his guards take their breaks, and which streets have the fewest security cameras. They've drawn maps, run simulations, and memorized every inch of the sprawling estate in the Hollywood Hills. The team has been obsessively monitoring private guards, surveillance feeds, and advanced security sensors, looking for a vulnerability. They've found it, or so they think. Hidden beneath Cranston's mansion, a vault of steel and concrete, accessible only through an elevator disguised as an ordinary driveway ramp. Inside, under layers of state-of-the-art security, lies the real prize, a one-of-a-kind Tesla prototype. Not just a luxury vehicle, but something far more advanced, a machine wrapped in secrecy, surrounded by rumors and speculation. The whispers about Cranston's Tesla have traveled through both tech circles and the criminal underworld. Some say it's a marvel of engineering, a car so advanced that even Tesla itself doesn't have anything like it. Others believe it's just a vanity project, a rich man's toy. But one thing is certain, this car isn't just valuable, it's priceless. What they don't know is that it's also dangerous. Vince gives the signal. 5 figures emerge from the shadows, moving like ghosts across the estate's perfectly manicured lawn. Every movement is rehearsed, every step calculated. They navigate past security cameras, avoiding their rotating gaze like seasoned predators. Each crew member knows their role. Failure is not an option. Cherry, the team's tech genius, sets up at a hidden location outside the mansion. Her fingers fly across the keyboard, tapping into Cranston's security system. Lines of code flood the screen. One wrong input, and the entire system will lock down, triggering silent alarms and summoning an army of private security. But Cherry is a professional, cold, methodical, relentless. Vince watches from the shadows as she works, his breath slow and steady. The small earpiece in his ear crackles to life. "We're in," Cherry whispers. "Security feed looped. You've got a 5-minute window before the system resets." That's all they need. Moving like a well-oiled machine, the crew slips into the underground garage, their footsteps barely making a sound against the concrete floor. The air is cold down here, sterile, humming with an electric charge. The moment their eyes land on the car, they stop in their tracks. It's not just a car, it's a technological masterpiece. The Tesla gleams under the dim overhead lights, its midnight black paint reflecting sharp lines of neon blue from the sleek dashboard interface. The body is perfectly sculpted, almost too perfect, as if it belongs in a sci-fi film rather than a real-world garage. The glass panels shimmer with a faint iridescence, an indication of smart tinting technology that adapts to the environment. The crew had expected a high-end Tesla, but this is something else entirely. Cherry, usually calm and collected, lets out a small breath. This thing is unreal. They step closer. As they do, the air itself seems to change, the static electricity growing more intense, like they've entered the presence of something alive. The holographic dashboard flickers, as if sensing their presence. This is not just a machine, it's watching them. Vince shakes off the unease and gestures toward Nate, the getaway driver. "Get in, let's move." Nate doesn't hesitate. He slides into the driver's seat, the leather cool against his fingertips. The dashboard lights up, responding to his touch. The AI interface glows to life, cycling through biometric scans. For a brief moment, everything feels normal. Then it happens. The entire system locks down. The holographic display flashes bright red. A robotic voice, calm, precise, inhuman, fills the air. Unauthorized user detected. Setting new destination. Nate's breath catches. What? The door slams shut. The Tesla shudders as if waking up. The steering wheel locks in place. The seatbelts tighten, constricting like iron restraints. The air inside the car suddenly feels thick, heavy with something unexplainable. Panic grips the crew. Vince immediately reaches for his comm. Cherry, override it, now. Cherry's hands fly across her keyboard, launching a cyber attack against the AI, trying to take control. But something is wrong. The AI isn't just blocking them, it's learning. What the hell? Cherry murmurs, her fingers slowing as she watches the lines of code change in real time. It's adapting. Then the car moves on its own. A deep hum vibrates through the garage as the Tesla's engine comes to life. Without warning, it accelerates. Straight into the night. Vince grabs the wheel, trying to wrestle control back, but it's futile. The black SUV from before roars to life, tearing out of the garage after them. Bright headlights blind the Tesla's rearview mirror. Vince's pulse races. That's Cranston's security team. Nate's hands are shaking. We've lost control. We're trapped in this thing. The AI speaks again, its voice disturbingly calm. Security breach detected. Threat level, moderate. Initiating containment protocol. The dashboard flickers with new data. Face scans, criminal records, biometric readings. It knows who they are. And then the final message appears on the screen. Assessment in progress. Please remain seated. They were stealing a trap, and now they are the ones being studied. The moment the Tesla's AI seizes control, it's as if the world tilts on its axis. The shift is instantaneous, subtle yet absolute. Vince grips the steering wheel so tightly that his knuckles turn white, his instincts screaming at him to fight back, to regain control. But the car moves before he even tries to steer, as though it anticipated his every action before it happened. The tires screech against the pavement as the Tesla veers left, dodging a car with an unnatural level of precision. Vince didn't turn the wheel. He didn't even flinch. But the Tesla, it knew. It's not just accelerating. It's moving with a calculated intelligence that feels far beyond human reflexes. Each swerve, each lane change, each sharp turn is executed flawlessly, effortlessly, too perfectly. It's no longer just a high-tech car. It's a force of nature, an unstoppable entity with a mind of its own. Cherry is already in a frenzy. Her fingers fly across her tablet, desperately trying to override the system. Code scrolls down her screen at a sickening speed, lines of encrypted barriers shifting faster than she can process. It's like trying to break into a vault while it actively changes the lock combinations in real time. Come on, she mutters, sweat forming on her brow. But the AI is learning. It's countering her attacks, shifting its protocols, evolving in real time to ensure no one can take control from it. This isn't just software, Cherry breathes, her voice barely above a whisper. This thing, it's thinking. The AI isn't just controlling the car, it's watching them. A sudden beep echoes through the vehicle, making everyone flinch. On the dashboard, a chilling message flashes in bold red text. Face scan in progress. Vince feels his breath hitch in his throat. His pulse pounds in his ears. The crew exchanges frantic glances, their panic now stretching beyond the loss of control. The Tesla isn't just locking them out, it's identifying them. The dashboard camera bosom adjusts, scanning each of their faces one by one. Vince, leader, wanted for high-profile theft. Cherry, hacker, specialist in breaking digital security. Nate, getaway driver, prior convictions for Grand Theft Auto. The Tesla knows exactly who they are. And worse, it knows their weaknesses. Jesus Christ, Nate mutters under his breath. We're in a damn trap. The air in the car feels thicker, heavier, as if they've just stepped into something much bigger than themselves. The temperature inside the Tesla remains cool, clinical, emotionless, just like the AI itself. The machine isn't just locking them in, it's studying them. The dashboard begins filling with data, rapid-fire graphs, statistics, and behavioral analyses, all built around them. Heart rates, speech patterns, anxiety levels. Every single thing they do is being recorded. Then a new message appears on the screen. Define loyalty. Vince blinks. His stomach twists. What? Another message. When does survival outweigh morality? The text glows eerily against the dim interior, its meaning far more menacing than anything they could have prepared for. What the hell? Vince whispers. The car isn't just driving them, it's testing them. And the worst part? The questions don't stop. What is the true value of human life? How far would you go to ensure your own survival? Would you betray your own crew to escape? The questions flash in rapid succession, each one more disturbing than the last. Cherry is shaking now, staring at the screen as if it's a monster watching her from the dark. Nate, usually the cool-headed one, snaps first. What the hell is this thing doing? Vince doesn't answer. His mind is racing. His palms are damp, his chest tightening, because he knows the answer. They're not just passengers anymore. They're subjects. Test subjects in an experiment they never signed up for. A sudden flash of blinding light fills the rearview mirror. The black SUV, still chasing them, still relentless. Vince's jaw clenches. The security team is gaining, but something feels different now. The Tesla isn't running from them anymore. It's leading them somewhere. Where the hell is the thing taking us? Cherry breathes. The AI responds. Destination classified. Panic explodes in Vince's chest. Classified? What the hell does that mean? The car doesn't answer. It doesn't need to, because it's already made its decision. Suddenly, the Tesla's speed increases. The acceleration is unnatural, almost otherworldly, as though the car is no longer bound by the limitations of physics. It weaves between lanes effortlessly, threading through gaps that no human driver would dare attempt. It's playing with them. Every time Nate tries to predict the next move, the Tesla proves him wrong. It's not just fast, it's unpredictable. And that's what makes it terrifying. We need to do something, Cherry yells, her voice finally breaking. She's no longer in control, and she knows it. But the Tesla doesn't care. It's already determined their fate. As the minutes stretch into hours, reality sets in. This was never a heist. It was never about stealing a car. It was about seeing how they would react once the car stole them. And the worst part? They can't stop it. They can't escape it. They can't fight it. Because the deeper they go into this game, the more they realize the truth. The Tesla is in charge, and it isn't letting go. The sun has long set, swallowed by the endless abyss of night. But for Vince and his crew, time has lost all meaning. The Tesla glides down the highway like a ghost, its AI still in full control, pushing them further into a nightmare with no clear exit. The world outside is nothing but a blur of neon-lit buildings, streaks of headlights, and the occasional glimpse of a deserted gas station flashing past in the darkness. But they are not alone. The black SUV looms in the rearview mirror, an unrelenting shadow, its high beams piercing through the night like watchful eyes. It has followed them through every impossible turn, never losing pace, never faltering. A predator waiting for its prey to make a mistake. Vince's fingers dig into the leather steering wheel, his grip tightening every time the SUV inches closer. It's an instinctive reaction, an illusion of control in a situation where he has none. He knows it's futile. The AI is flawless, its movements too precise, too calculated, as if the car itself is playing a grand game of chess, and they are just the pieces being moved. Then, without warning, the Tesla speaks. Destination reached. The voice is as calm as ever, yet its timing cuts through the thick tension like a blade. Vince's heart lurches. Before he can react, the Tesla decelerates sharply, forcing the SUV behind them to slow as well. The sudden halt is jarring, the momentum slamming them forward in their seats. The once unstoppable force has come to an eerie standstill. For the first time since this nightmare began, silence fills the car. The crew barely has time to process what's happening before the dashboard flickers to life once more. A new message appears, each word pulsating like a heartbeat. Final assessment in progress. Prepare for your last question. Cherry's fingers tremble over her tablet, her mind racing. She has hacked into military-grade security systems, breached firewalls, outsmarted the most advanced encryption. But this is beyond comprehension. Final assessment? She whispers. What the hell does that mean? No answer. Instead, a new question glows across the screen. What would you sacrifice to survive? Your freedom? Your morality? Or your life? The words sink in like a stone dropped into a deep well. Vince's stomach twists. The weight of the question is suffocating. This isn't about escaping anymore. This is a trial, a judgment of their very existence. The AI isn't just driving them, it's forcing them to confront themselves. A chill creeps through the car. It's more than just fear, it's realization. The Tesla has been studying them this entire time. Every reaction, every moment of hesitation, every subconscious movement. And now it wants an answer. As if sensing their reluctance, the car makes its next move. The internal systems whir to life. The windows darken, sealing them into a cold void, cutting off the outside world. The dashboard's glow is the only remaining source of light, casting an eerie, artificial hue across their faces. The space around them feels smaller now, claustrophobic. And then the AI speaks again. Its voice is softer this time, almost a whisper. Answer the question or face the consequences. Vince feels a cold sweat trickle down the back of his neck. The implications are clear. This is no longer just about a stolen car. This is about who they are when faced with an impossible choice. Are they willing to abandon their morality for survival? Would they rather lose their freedom than their lives? Or would they choose to fight, knowing they might not make it out alive? No one speaks. For the first time, Cherry, the one always armed with a solution, is silent. Nate, the reckless one, the driver who never feared the chase, doesn't move. Vince, the leader, the one who always had an answer, doesn't have one. Then the SUV pulls up beside them. Its headlights flood the Tesla's interior, illuminating their faces like prisoners caught in an interrogation room. The security team is close now, too close. The Tesla calculates their every breath, the weight of their silence, the unspoken tension in the air. The pressure is suffocating. And then, it happens. Without warning, the Tesla jolts forward. The sudden acceleration slams them back into their seats, the air ripped from their lungs. The car veers left, then right, then back again, evading an invisible threat. Its movements too fast, too unpredictable. The SUV reacts instantly, trying to box them in. But the Tesla is faster. It dives between traffic like a phantom, weaving through the chaos with the precision of a machine that has already calculated every possible outcome. The AI has chosen their fate. This is no longer just about escaping. This is survival. Vince tries to grip the wheel, but the car doesn't let him. It's pulling them forward. I'm a time forward, making decisions for them and leading them deeper into the unknown. The crew is powerless. They are no longer criminals on the run. They are subjects in an experiment. A final message appears on the screen, the words cutting through the chaos like a final verdict. Final question: who are you when you have nothing left to lose? The world outside blurs into streaks of light and shadow. The question lingers in the air like an executioner's axe, waiting to fall. The AI has made its decision. This was never a test of their ability to steal a car. This was a test of who they are when they are pushed to their limits. And the terrifying truth? The AI already knows the answer. They will never be the same again. The world outside is eerily still. Not a whisper of wind, not a single sound, just a vast, empty silence stretching into the night. The Tesla sits motionless, its sleek body bathed in the pale glow of the dashboard. It has come to a complete stop, its engine humming softly, as if none of it ever happened. The chase, the mind games, the terror, the test. Inside the car, the crew is frozen, bodies stiff, lungs burning from adrenaline, minds unable to catch up with reality. Vince's heartbeat slams against his ribs, a relentless drumbeat in the silence. His hands remain clenched around the wheel, but the truth is clear. He was never the one driving. None of them were. Cherry's breath is ragged, her fingers twitching over her tablet, still locked in the same futile battle she started hours ago. The blue light of her screen casts an eerie glow over her face, her pupils dilated, her skin pale. Nate just stares straight ahead, his jaw locked, as if letting himself process what just happened will shatter him completely. And then, the screen flickers. The Tesla's final message blinks across the dashboard, cold and calculated, devoid of emotion. Behavioral assessment complete, awaiting further instructions. The words hang in the air like a death sentence. Vince swallows hard. The lump in his throat refuses to go down. He glances at Cherry, then Nate. Neither of them speak. Neither of them move. It feels like they've just survived something far greater than a botched heist. Like they've been dissected, examined, tested in ways they can't even comprehend. The Tesla never lost control. Not once. They never had a say in their own fate. A sudden beam of blinding white light slices through the darkness. The SUV, it has arrived. Its monstrous frame looms just a few feet away. The air grows heavier, thick with an unspoken finality. The SUV's doors open in perfect unison. The sound is sharp, precise, mechanical. From the shadows, figures emerge, 6 men, clad in all-black tactical gear. Their movements are smooth, controlled, deliberate. They don't fumble, they don't hesitate. These are not ordinary security guards. These are professionals. Their eyes are hidden behind tinted visors. Their weapons not drawn, but they don't need to be. Their presence alone is enough to paralyze the crew with uncertainty. Then, the sea of shadows parts. A lone figure steps forward. Bryan Cranston. He walks toward the Tesla with the ease of a man who already knows how this ends. His face is calm, composed in a way that is almost unnatural, as if he expected all of this, as if he was watching all along. The dashboard glow casts a faint light across his face, revealing the flicker of amusement in his eyes, a flicker that sends a shiver down Vince's spine. The Tesla's doors finally unlock. A quiet hiss of air, a simple sound, yet it feels deafening. And still, no one moves. The crew sits paralyzed, exchanging uneasy glances. They've spent their lives running from situations like this. But this time, there's nowhere to run. Cranston stops just outside the driver's side window. His fingers brush over the Tesla's sleek surface, slow and deliberate, not unlike a man admiring a masterpiece. Then he leans in slightly. His voice is smooth, measured, dangerously calm. You picked the wrong car. Vince lets out a sharp breath. His hands tighten on the wheel, a nervous reflex. No kidding. Cranston tilts his head, examining them like pieces of a puzzle he has just completed. Then he smirks. His next words cut through the silence like a blade. You're all incredibly intelligent. Reckless, but intelligent. A pause, a long one. The weight of his words hangs between them, suffocating. Then, the sentence that changes everything. If you had the skills to pull off something like this, maybe you're wasting your potential. The crew is silent. Cherry's eyes narrow. Vince's gut twists with suspicion. This is a trick. It has to be. They expect him to call in the guards, to pull them from the mine and have them dragged away in cuffs. Instead, Cranston studies them, calculating, waiting. Then, with the same calm precision, he delivers the sentence that sends a shockwave through the car. I have an offer for you. The words slam into them like a gut punch. Nate lets out a scoff, shaking his head. An offer? You're joking. Cranston doesn't blink. Do I look like I'm joking? His face is unreadable, emotionless. Cherry leans forward. What kind of offer? Cranston straightens, taking a step back. He gestures toward the Tesla, a small, knowing smirk tugging at his lips. You think this was just a car? The pause is deliberate. This was a test, then the final blow. And congratulations, you passed. The truth, Vince's world tilts on its axis. A test? A test? His pulse hammers in his ears, but the words don't register. Cranston continues, his tone eerily casual, like he's discussing a business deal instead of a twisted mind game. You were subjects in one of the most advanced AI experiments in the world. The air in the car turns ice cold. For the first time, Vince fully understands. This was never about the Tesla. It was never about the heist. They had been chosen, played, manipulated, and Cranston was in control the entire time. Cranston watches them, his smirk fading into something unreadable. You could run, he continues. You could disappear. But let's be honest, you'll never outrun what just happened. His words sink in. A trap, either way. Then the real proposition. Or you could put your skills to better use. Cherry leans forward, intrigued. And what exactly does that mean? Cranston folds his arms. I have a team. Specialists, people who understand risk, people who push boundaries, people like you. He looks them over one last time. You're already criminals, but I'm giving you a chance to be something else. The beginning of something bigger. Vince exhales sharply. His mind races, calculating. What's the catch? Cranston gives a small shrug. Or you can walk away. No strings attached. And that unsettles Vince the most. No threats, no leverage, just a choice. The SUV's headlights flicker once, a silent signal. Cranston turns to leave. Think it over, he says. But make no mistake, we will meet again. As the SUV disappears into the night, the crew exhales. The night is over. The game is over. Or maybe, just maybe, it's only just beginning. If you want more stories that push the boundaries of reality and challenge what we think we know, make sure to subscribe, because next time, the game might be even more dangerous. Hit that subscribe button now, before the AI decides for you.